up to 40% or 50%. If you do, that's a telltale sign that you're taking off too much material and it's gonna be bad for the machine, all right? Now, also with this machine, kind of like the other ones, you have to make sure you have the dust collector on, running at full RPM, and this blast gate is pulled out before you start, or you're gonna create dust everywhere in this environment, okay? We don't wanna do that because it can pose a health hazard to people's lungs, okay? So we wanna make sure that this is running, this is open, the dust collector is running properly, the machine is set up, right? So right now, I have the machine set up, I have it proper height, I've marked my material so I can recognize if it's been sanded or not. I'm ready to go ahead and turn it on if I choose to. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn on the dust collector. Okay, so I'm going to make sure it's running at full RPM before I start anything. I'd start the finisher. One second. Take my material, start to finish with the conveyor. Second spot. I want to talk to you about one more thing. Okay, once I'm done with this machine, I want to make sure that I blow out the internal parts, but something I really want you to see is this emergency stop button. As you can see, this is still on the green, it's not on the red. If you push on this, everything gets shut down immediately, right? It's emergency stop. Makes sense, right? Well, all the parts stop immediately. It's really, really hard on the internal parts. So you want to make sure that you're conscious that when you put your material in here, that you're not going to come close to hitting this inadvertently, okay? You want to make sure you don't push this unless it's an emergency. I totally understand. If you feel like you're being dragged in and push on this and you panic, I get it. I would want to too, okay? But I don't want you just leaning up against here just because you're putting the material in and you weren't aware of it. Make sure that you're aware that this whole bar here is a safety device for this machine, okay? But we don't want to trigger this just to turn it off. We turn it off by pushing these two buttons, okay? Now let's say, like you can see, all the pencil lines have been removed off this face and this face, right? And all the mill marks, if you look real close here, they're gone, okay? They usually are like a line going straight across the whole surface, kind of looking like a washboard. That's gone, okay? So what I want to do now is this. Now that the machine is off, I can go ahead and I can open up the doors and spray out the inside internal parts. And then I'm done, okay? But make sure when you're done spraying out the internal parts, that these doors, you hold the handle open, hold it shut, release this, that way it's locked. And in one way to know if you have the doors locked and shut properly is push this button. If the red light comes off, you know that you've done your job properly. So this is all that I have for you on the Wide Belt Sander here in the shop. Until next time, we'll see you.